card chosen for you is from The Fairy Forest, an oracle of the wild green world by Lucy Cavendish. Number 24, The Solitary, dedication, self-love, focus. Within you go. When the solitary visits, you are about to go within, to withdraw and retreat from the world for a time. This can be a response to an event from the outside, a trauma, sadness, or betrayal. And the withdrawing inwards, which appears to be depression, is actually a way of respecting the soul's shadow, investigating it, understanding it, and mastering it. This card indicates a time when you will go it alone, walk your own path, choosing to carve a way forward that you can be sure remains true to the deep self. There will be a time of learning, away from the mainstream, and there may be times when you feel isolated and somewhat worried about how your new path will be perceived. It can also indicate that in a past life, you have suffered for your gifts and spirituality. You may have experienced a past life as a healer, seer, witch, wizard, or medicine man, in which a new order decreed your power to be invalid and dark. This fear still pursues you when you connect with the power of your gift, resulting in fears surrounding intuition and your natural talents. By going within, we learn more about our soul. It is not a part of the journey that we necessarily look forward to, but it is a time of great development on the spiritual path, and it is imperative to growth. Before we can shine our light in the world, we must ignite our inner spark. This going inward is actually the sacred task of tending your own sacred flame and learning from it before turning to matters of the world again. This card can sometimes indicate that a person has undergone a literal near-death experience. This card chosen for you is from The Fairies Oracle by Brian Froud. Card number 22, The Master Maker. Skill, craftsmanship, magician, moral strength, invention. The Master Maker is the master of the forge, upon which we create our futures and forge our own souls. He sees the world beyond the other world, the world of first causes. Through his magic, he brings them into his own world of fairy. From his world, these concepts trickle down into our own through dreams and visions, picked up by artists and craftsmen everywhere. But he makes the first, the original. He is the great inventor, and the sign above his door reads, "Practical problems solved here." He sings as he works, and as in all fairy magic, his song does much to shape the objects, as do the blows of his hammer. Healing cups, magic swords, fairy jewels, crowns of stars, and other bespelled works of the finest craftsmanship pass through his forge and beneath his hammer. The master of fire, air, earth, and water. He adds the fairy element of moonlight to everything he creates. He would be the first to tell you that superb craftsmanship, however magical, is hard work. Joyful and energizing, hard work, but always challenging. As the Master Maker reminds us, no job is too small to do beautifully. His work is done as well as possible, even where it will never be seen by anyone else. Bringing ideas into excellently crafted reality can only be done when we, like the Master Maker, are willing to plan meticulously, begin carefully, and persevere through difficulties, learning still more of our craft as we work. Craftsmanship is also a labor of love. We must be willing to tackle difficult challenges and have a determination to surpass previous achievements. Patience is always required, as is the willingness to do a thing again and again, until it is even better than the best one can do. The Master Maker has the moral strength to refuse the temptation to do anything else, and he is a protector and teacher of the traditional values of his craft. Yet, In balance to all of this, the Master reminds us that we also need to learn our own limits. Not everyone can do everything superbly. When we discover our talents and choose our craft, then we gain great joy and fulfillment from developing that skill into an art. We grow more like the Master Maker each time we do the best we can, and then stretch ourselves to do a little better than that. As a message, do whatever you do as well as you can, and then make it even better. The Master Maker reminds us that our very best work is always desirable, and in the present situation, it is necessary for success. In fact, he asks that we surpass our previous best. Don't cut corners, and don't take the easy way. Whether making a thing or fulfilling a concept, be sure the design is elegant, pure, and functional, and then follow it, attending to every detail in its turn. He says, design beyond your skill and then raise the level of your skill to fulfill it. Give and accept only the best, and do it with love of your craft, whatever that craft may be. This card speaks of long-lasting achievement, creative problem-solving, and confident action. It may suggest cooperation with others, especially from a position of responsibility, or of teaching one's craft to others. Success comes from practical application of traditional principles in life and in work. As a warning, when the Master Maker's wisdom and skill are blocked, shoddy craftsmanship is a problem. It doesn't matter what the art or skill or craft is. It doesn't matter whether it is physical or intellectual. This situation is likely to deteriorate badly if people do not give their best, and then do even better than that. This card may represent haphazard work, mediocrity, lack of skill, or unrealized potential. While traditional values of quality and integrity of workmanship are important, being dogmatic or stuck in outworn ways just for the sake of tradition is another block to the art of the craftsman. Twisted, the wisdom of this card becomes indicative of the misuse of craftsmanship. For example, we might use our skills in finishing to hide flaws in a structure of either a physical or object or a concept or organization. The destructive mode here is to use our skills and craftsmanship in any field to create the means of destruction, whether of lives or the environment, or hopes and dreams.